Welcome to dinner at Doug's. Tonight we're going to prepare a dish called Grandma Peggy's Goulash. It's not exactly goulash, but it's a dish my family loves, and I hope you'll enjoy it too. Okay, for this dish, you're going to need a pound of Velveeta cheese, a pound plus of ground sausage, country style or sausage links, a can of stewed Italian style tomatoes, about 1.5 to 2 cups of milk, a little basil, salt and pepper, and that's about everything. Anybody who knows anything about goulash knows that it's a red sauce, paprika, meat, thin sauce, and this is nothing like that. My mother knew not what she was talking about, but what it actually is a mac and cheese variation, and it starts off with large egg shells that we drop into some boiling water. We do about 2/3 of this bag. No, I'm going to do the whole bag, okay? And as soon as it hits, we give it a little bit of a stir here and bring the heat up, so that they're not all of a sudden stuck together. You want the heat to go all the way around them so that they have a little bit of a skin on the outside, or cooking first so they don't just become glutinous together. I'm going to cover it and get the heat up to the boil, and then I'll bring it down to a low or medium boil. The next thing that she did, or we get started here, is the sausage. My grandmother, or my mother, my sons, we used to use the links, sausage links that they always had, and then we fry those and then cut them rings on it here. I find that it's really quite good when you do just ground country style pork sausage. Get it into the fry pan. We start chopping it up and making a ground, and try to make it chunky, because we liked having the chunks sort of like we had chunks in the links that we used to use. So I'm going to brown this on the one side real good here. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to chop it up a little bit more, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, the sausage has been on medium-high for a little bit. It's begun to brown. You can see as I bring it over, we've got some nice light tanning to it. Well, we're just going to do as we do, bring this, and then we'll be able to break again in these kind of cubes, so we have chunky, and we're going to break it up even a little more towards the end of it, but we just don't want to have it all fine ground when we go into the finished product. So that's that for that step. We're going to have the fire up there again, medium still, and get that brown. We're going to check and make sure now that our pasta has a nice boil, is not stuck to the bottom. A little wood spoon. We're not going to break them. We're going to have to cook these al dente. If we go over in the pot here, they'll be mushy in the finished product. Everything's looking good so far. Okay, to the pasta here, what we add is a can of Italian style canned tomatoes. We'll dump them right in here, and I'll chop them up a little bit as I blend them in. We're also going to add to that the sausage, which was probably a 1.25 pounds, but a pound is, good there. And in it goes. Whoop, we don't have to pour the oil, there's plenty in it. And then we're going to mix it up, and we're going to add some cheese and some milk and blend it in, and a little basil, and we should be in really good shape. All right, we add a little splash of milk. You can use a little half and half, not a lot, because we can add milk later. We don't want it too runny. I just don't want the noodles to sit here real dry yet until I get, there we go. There's enough sauce to keep them from sticking or drying out. And then I'll get the cheese in there, and then we'll melt that down and add whatever milk we need or not. Next, we're going to add some cheese. My mother goes back from the 60s. We used a Velveeta cheese. I know a lot of people are not kosher with that, but it melts. It's what we used. It's delicious. You can probably make a variation, but we use about half the block. I break it up here into my beginning of the pasta, and then I'll tumble it around to let it start melting. If it's too thick, I'll add the little milk. If it's not, I won't, but it's going to be good. I'm also going to throw in a couple leaves of basil. I'll chop that up and blend it in there just for a little bit of that Italian, like we're using an Italian stewed tomatoes to go with those flavors. All right, I'll tumble this around and then we'll get back to you and show you how it looks as it starts to melt all together. Okay, breaking in pieces of cheese here, just about done with half the block, and I can see it's softening up, beginning to melt just a little bit. I splashed a little more milk in there, and I will again here, just to get it to soup up around. After it comes to a nice consistency, leftovers come out really, really good because they solidify, you know, as it cools, and if it's a little thin, it becomes cheesier or thicker, and you can see the sauce starts to pick up some red color as the tomatoes are breaking up in it, so you know it's starting to get that tomatoey Italian flavor through it. My basil leaf is tumbling around doing all kinds of good things that they do in there, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Okay, we are at a pretty good melted state here. It's all become soupy. Tomatoes are kind of, I try to break them up a little bit, but we still like nice chunks. It's a little thin. As it cools down, it's going to solidify. We need to let it rest for about 10 minutes, and we'll be able to serve it in a bowl, and you'll enjoy it. All right, tonight we're going to try an Irish soda bread, which is a wheat flour with wheat germ, white flour, soda. It's a quick bread. We've been experimenting with these types of breads, and they really are pretty good. Toast it with a lot of butter. They're delicious. Okay, I'm going to slice it, cut it in half. I love my cast iron. We use it for everything here. We're going to put our soda bread on the hot griddle. We'll lightly toast them and do a nice heavy dose of butter on them, and they will come out delicious. What I did here was I tried to push noodles to the outside, leave a little fire in the middle to try to reduce it a little bit, and that's why if you overcook your noodles in the beginning, they would become soggy soft now. So there we are. We're lightly toasted. I'm going to go ahead and top them up with butter here, and we're about ready to plate up and enjoy. We just scoop some of this wonderful good stuff out. You can see how delicious it is going to be just by looking at it. Big old tomato chunks. All right, this is how it's going to look. This is just going to be delicious stuff. Big old tomato chunks, cheesy, soupy deliciousness. This is what we like. All right, everybody's going to love a dish of this. I hope that you will enjoy this as much as I do. Okay, and after dinner, there's always the fun part, the dishes. They're not very hard to do when you have a Nancy! All right, I hope you enjoyed dinner at Doug's today. If you'd like to check out other recipes and adventures, look up CeranoSPen.com. My cameraman can't resist showing all of the mistakes that most any chef could make. I hope you have fun with it.
Yeah.
Meat all over it.
Bloopers, I guess. You're on, Dad.
Okay, the sausage has had an opportunity to brown on one side. Let's stop and start. Put it in again. Maybe Kathy put it in. What? You just set it in here.
Oh no.
You just set it there. You set it over there. Okay, next we're adding the cheese. A lot of people like better quality. Never mind. Start over. Okay. Okay, tonight with this meal that we're going to prepare, if you want to follow along.
Sorry, one more time.
Okay, tonight with Grandma Peggy's goulash. Okay, tonight with Grandma Peggy's goulash, if you want to follow along, you're probably going to have your ingredients all set. You're going to need a pound, a little more of some ground sausage or sausage links, a half a block of cheddar cheese, a package of large shells, pasta, a can of Italian styled stewed tomatoes, a little basil, salt, and pepper, and milk. That'll be it. Okay, for this dish, you're going to need a pound of Velveeta cheese, a little more, pound plus of ground or sausage links. Never mind, let's go again. Okay, for this dish, you're going to need a pound of Velveeta cheese, a pound plus of country-style ground sausage or sausage links. You're going to need about 2 cups or cup and a half. Okay, stop with the us.
Oh.
Okay, a bread goes really good alongside this. We often do a garlic bread. We'll do a French garlic parmesan, and it comes out nice on the broiler. But tonight we have a leftover Irish soda bread that is half wheat flour and soda. We've been experimenting with soda breads. You've got to try them. I'm going to toast it up, and we'll have that on side.
One more time? Or no?
Because you want it to come to the food.
I know. No, I know. But you had a lot of us again.
Too much.
Say Irish soda bread, wheat flour, wheat germ, and it's a quick bread that does not require yeast.
That's a director in the background.
Are we rolling? All right, tonight we're going to try an Irish soda bread, which is a wheat flour with wheat germ, white flour, soda. It's a quick bread. We've been experimenting with these types of breads, and they really are pretty good. Toast it with a lot of butter. They're delicious. My son Grant is filming, and he can't resist showing all of the bloopers and the mistakes that anybody makes. Not every cook is perfect. Here are some of the things that you missed that Grant can't resist showing you. If Grant resists showing you, don't shake that when you do that. Hold it steady. Grant can't resist showing you all the mistakes that most any cook could make. I hope you have fun with them.
I don't need to mention my name, though.
Okay, I want to mention your name.
Huh?
My cameraman, Grant.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah.
My cameraman Grant can't resist showing all of the mistakes that most any chef could make. I hope you have fun with it. I hope that you will enjoy this as much as I do.
One more time. I think I didn't get the first part. Try it again.
Do that.
No, I can't help it.
Okay. And go.
I hope that you will enjoy this as much as I do. Okay, and after dinner, there's always the fun part, the dishes. They're not very hard to do when you have a...
Bring in the dog and put out the cat. Don't hold back.